Today we're diving into a chilling discussion about the 2016 Australian thriller Hounds of Love, a film that's as gripping as it is disturbing. This movie is inspired by the real-life crimes of the notorious serial killer couple, David and Catherine Burney, whose horrific acts shook Australia. They kidnapped and abused young girls, and we'll touch on their true story toward the end of this explanation. The movie opens with a sinister scene. A couple sitting in their car, coldly watching schoolgirls as they leave for the day. The tension is palpable as their predatory gaze locks onto one girl walking home alone. This couple, John and Evelyn, lures her with smooth-talking deception, convincing her to get into their car. They kidnap her, take her to their house and chain her to a bed. The next morning, the camera lingers on bloodstains in their room, a gut-wrenching hint at the violence and assault the girl has endured. It's a haunting start that sets the tone for the darkness to come. We learn that John, the male half of this twisted duo, is drowning in debt and has an obsessive aversion to any kind of mess or filth in their home. Evelyn, his partner, has children from a previous relationship but lives with John, estranged from her kids because they aren't his. The morning after the abduction, John callously murders the girl and buries her body deep in the woods, disposing of her like she was nothing. The coldness of his actions is chilling, making your skin crawl as you realize the depths of his cruelty. The story then shifts to Vicky, a rebellious teenage girl who's navigating her own struggles. She's a schoolgirl who loves partying and indulging in drugs, often clashing with her mother, Maggie, a fiercely independent woman who left Vicky's father. Vicky's parents are separated and she's caught in the emotional crossfire, resenting her mother for the divorce. Vicky spends her weekends with Maggie, but their relationship is strained. She's also in a sweet, secretive romance with her boyfriend Jason, communicating through coded letters where the first letter of each word spells out hidden messages, a clever detail that adds depth to her character. One weekend, Vicky begs her mom to let her go to a friend's party, but Maggie refuses, worried about her daughter's reckless behavior. Frustrated and defiant, Vicky locks herself in her room, only to sneak out through the window, determined to make it to the party. As she walks alone, a car creeps up behind her. It's John and Evelyn. They prey on her vulnerability, offering her high-quality weed that'll make her dance all night. At first, Vicky brushes them off, but their manipulative charm wins her over. She agrees to go with them to buy the drugs, a decision that fills you with dread as you know what's coming. At their house, Evelyn stays outside with Vicky while John goes inside, supposedly to grab the weed. Evelyn's dog starts barking at Vicky and she calms it down, unaware of the danger she's in. Evelyn, playing the friendly host, invites Vicky inside for a drink. Reluctantly, Vicky agrees and the tension skyrockets. Unbeknownst to her, the drink is spiked with a sedative. As the drug takes hold, Vicky feels woozy, her world spinning. In a terrifying moment, John and Evelyn overpower her, chaining her to a bed as she screams for help. The betrayal is gut-wrenching and you can feel Vicky's panic and helplessness. The next morning, Maggie goes to Vicky's room and finds her bed empty. Her heart sinks as she realizes something's wrong. She frantically calls Vicky's friends but no one knows where she is. Meanwhile, at John and Evelyn's house, John flips through Vicky's diary, filled with her photos and personal thoughts. Evelyn catches him and a flicker of jealousy sparks in her eyes. She's deeply in love with John but also terrified of him. Her complex emotions add a layer of tragedy to her character, as she's both victim and accomplice in his crimes. When John notices that Vicky, in her terror, has wet the bed, he flies into a rage. His obsession with cleanliness makes him lash out, ordering Evelyn to clean up the mess, including the dog's droppings on the floor. Evelyn complies, her fear of John palpable, yet her love for him keeps her tethered to his darkness. She tends to Vicky, giving her water and even taking her to bathe, a moment where Vicky spots an open bathroom window, a glimmer of hope for escape. While John is out, a man approaches him demanding repayment for a debt. John promises to pay him tomorrow, brushing him off. Back at the house, Evelyn forces Vicky to write a letter claiming she's run away from home and won't return. Vicky, ever resourceful, notices an address on some papers and cleverly embeds it in the coded letter, hoping her boyfriend Jason will decipher it and save her. Evelyn, unaware of the code, accepts the letter as normal and sets it aside. Later, when Evelyn takes Vicky to the bathroom, John returns and insists on taking her himself. He locks the door behind them and Evelyn's jealousy boils over as she imagines what he might be doing. She bangs on the door, furious, and when John opens it, she kisses him passionately, desperate to reclaim his attention. In the chaos, Vicky seizes her chance to escape, slipping toward the open bathroom window. But the dog's barking alerts John, who rushes to stop her. Vicky hides in the bathtub, then grabs a knife from the kitchen, her heart pounding as she edges toward freedom. Just as she reaches the door, John catches her, dragging her back and chaining her to the bed once more. The moment is agonizing. You're rooting for Vicky, but her hope is snatched away. A neighbor, hearing the commotion, comes to check on the noise, but Evelyn angrily sends them away. John berates her for drawing attention, his control over her tightening. Meanwhile, Evelyn delivers Vicky's letter to Maggie's mailbox. At the same time, Maggie and Vicky's father visit the police station to report her missing, spotting posters of other missing girls. Maggie's gut tells her Vicky's been kidnapped, but the police dismiss her, urging her to wait. When Maggie finds the letter, she's devastated, refusing to believe Vicky would run away. Her father blames Maggie, storming off in anger, leaving her alone with her fear and guilt. Back at the house, John's depravity escalates. While Evelyn is out, he enters Vicky's room, preparing to assault her. In her terror, Vicky soils the bed again, and John's disgust ruins his mood. He swaps the bedsheet, hiding his actions from Evelyn. When she returns and catches him leaving Vicky's room, suspicion gnaws at her. Vicky, desperate, hints at John's attempted assault, fueling Evelyn's insecurity. She confronts John, asking what's wrong with her that he seeks out other girls. John manipulates her, insisting she's beautiful and that he loves only her. He claims he only changed the bedsheet because Vicky dirted it, pointing to the washing machine as proof. Evelyn, desperate to believe him, checks and finds the soiled sheet, apologizing for doubting him. Her vulnerability is heartbreaking. She's trapped in a toxic cycle of love and fear. That night, John suggests they both have fun with Vicky before he kills her the next day. Evelyn agrees, and they torment Vicky in a harrowing scene that leaves you sickened. The next day, John digs a grave in the woods, preparing to dispose of Vicky. Her condition is dire, she can barely stand, broken by their cruelty. Meanwhile, Maggie and Vicky's father take the coded letter to Jason, who cracks the code and uncovers the address. They rush to the police, but the authorities refuse to act without evidence. Determined, they head to the location themselves. Back at the house, John's rage erupts again when he sees the dog has made another mess. In a shocking act, he kills the dog, devastating Evelyn, who loved it like a child. John apologizes, promising to bring her children to live with them, manipulating her once more. Evelyn forces Vicky to write another letter and swallow pills to end her life. But as John strangles Vicky, a woman's voice, Maggie's, calls out her name outside. Vicky realizes her mother is close, but Evelyn gags her, silencing her cries. In a pivotal moment, Evelyn's maternal instincts awaken. She can't bear the thought of another mother suffering the way she misses her own children. In a surge of courage, she stabs John, killing him. Vicky seizes the moment, leaping through the window to freedom. Maggie spots her, running to embrace her daughter in a tearful reunion. The film ends on this bittersweet note, leaving you relieved yet haunted by the ordeal. Now let's talk about the real-life horror behind Hounds of Love. The film is based on David and Catherine Burney, a couple from Perth, Australia who committed heinous crimes in the 1980s. They tortured and murdered 4 young women and nearly killed a 5th, who escaped and brought their reign of terror to an end. David, born on February 16, 1951, grew up in a dysfunctional family riddled with alcoholism and abuse. He dropped out of school at 15 and had a history of petty crimes, including torturing horses and attempting to assault an elderly woman. Catherine, born on May 23, 1951, met David at 12 and fell into a toxic relationship with him. After her mother's death, her father raised her, but disapproved of David's criminal behavior. Catherine later married another man, Donald, and had 7 children, one of whom died in infancy, plunging her into depression. In 1985, she left her husband and children to reunite with David, though they never legally married. Together, David and Catherine became a deadly pair, luring young women to their home and subjecting them to unspeakable torture. Their victims included 22-year-old Mary Nielsen, 15-year-old Susanna Candy, 31-year-old Nolene Patterson, and 21-year-old Denise Brown, all killed in ways chillingly similar to the film. Their 5th victim, 17-year-old Kate Moyer, managed to escape after a day of torment, running to a shop and alerting the authorities. Initially, police doubted her story, but Kate's detail about the Bernies always watching Sylvester Stallone's Rocky on their VCR convinced them. A search of their home uncovered the film, confirming her account. David and Catherine were arrested. In 2005, David hanged himself in prison at age 54, while Catherine was sentenced to life and worked as a prison librarian. So that's the gripping and terrifying story of Hounds of Love and the real-life nightmare that inspired it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know in the comments. Should I cover more true crime-inspired films? Just answer with a simple yes or no. If you want to watch this movie, follow me on Instagram where I'll share the link. If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and share this video. Until next time, stay curious and I'll see you in the next one.